My name is Kallie Terrana. I moved to Midlothian about a year and a half ago from Colorado with my husband, John. We've been married about a little over 5 years, and our son is 2. I grew up in a Christian home, always attending church. Jesus was a very real part of my life all along, really. And I had experienced hard things, but nothing really traumatic or that had made me question my faith before. In 2021, we experienced a pregnancy loss that was obviously really devastating. I cried out to God in that experience more than I ever had before, and I felt really alone. I felt like He wasn't there. And I think that what can often keep us from walking into the freedom that God has for us is believing a lie about God and who He is, or about ourselves. And in that experience, I really believed the lie that He had abandoned me, that I was really alone, and it was very, very hard. I feel like I sat in that grief actually for quite a while. We, a little over a year later, had our son, and he is the joy of my life. And I realized, though, that I still had those questions lingering. I still was carrying that grief. It didn't keep me from loving and enjoying my son fully, but I noticed that it was still there, and I was still holding on to something. And I attended a Bible study at our church over the summer, where I really had the space to bring that to the Lord. And what I realized in that was that I was looking for an explanation from Him. I wanted Him to explain to me why we experience grief and loss like that. I wanted Him to give me an explanation that made it bearable. And I think what I've recognized is that there isn't an explanation that will make it satisfying on this side of heaven. But something that was shared at that Bible study was that God doesn't always give us an explanation, but He always answers. And in that space, I realized that He is the answer. He is the answer to my grief. He is the answer to my sadness. He is the answer to whatever I'm questioning. And that He isn't trying to rush me out of my grief, that He sits with me in it, that He is present to me in those moments. And what we also talked about at that Bible study was basically breaking those lies, not coming into agreement with those lies. And I realized that I had really come into agreement with the lie that He had abandoned me and therefore was not trustworthy. And in that space, I was able to bring that to Him and experience His healing and start to build trust with God again. That helped me move forward and experience freedom and joy in my life again. I think that even now, I still experience days that are hard. It is easy to fall back into those lies, to believe those things again. The devil doesn't want us to experience freedom. He doesn't want us to heal. He doesn't want us to move forward and trust God. So it's a daily act of bringing that to God and choosing to believe His truth rather than those lies, to come into agreement with what He has for us and what He wants for us, which is freedom and joy. Joy is a choice. It's something that doesn't just happen to us, but by seeking the Lord and hearing His voice and letting Him lead us, we can experience that joy fully. If I could share with someone who has had maybe a similar experience, it's just that God wants you to come to Him with your honest thoughts. He wants you to bring your questions, your doubts, your anger. He can handle it. He can handle your emotions. He can handle your questions, but don't hold them and run away from Him. Don't let it become a barrier between you and Him, but bring it to Him and trust that He will sit with you and listen to you and love you and wants to walk you into freedom and healing and joy.